However, inexperience is not an excuse if a shoddy service has been provided.
The other right is that the service that was undertaken was not fit for the specific purpose.
Take, for example, you're getting your roof fixed, right? And it's leaking, but the tradesperson who fixed it says that it's been fixed and it's no longer leaking. It's reasonable for you to expect that there would be no leakages, right?
Well, if the roof did leak, then this would mean there has been a contravention of this right, as the roof is supposed to keep water out, and you hired a tradesperson to fix the roof.
This differs because the test is, if you had known of the problem, then you would not have bought the service.
However, we must note that the service provider can try to remedy the issue, but it must be done in a timely fashion.
This also applies for services that create an unsafe situation.
Well, that's a little too much to digest, so let's have a look at an example.
So say Emily goes to her favourite One Direction concert. Now, she bought the nosebleed seats and she's at the very back of the MCG. However, as a result of being in this seat, she now can't hear her beloved rocking One Direction.
Well, arguably, Craig, Emily is likely to have grounds for a refund to the service not being fit for the purpose, because one would suggest that if you go to a concert, you should be able to hear the band, right?
Correct. And if Emily was assured by the salesperson that she could hear the band, she also may have recourse for there being a major fault in the service that they have provided.
But if I had a damaged seat, which was unsafe, wouldn't I have grounds under that unsafe situation for a refund?
That would be seemingly correct, because you are entitled to a safe service whenever you purchase it.
If there is damage caused to your property, the consumer law will provide for costs to be ordered that were incurred from the damage.
Let's start this with an example. So let's say Emily, after being so upset from her One Direction concert not being very good, she employs a service to improve her house, to make it feel a little bit better.
But during these improvements, the jackhammer vibrates the whole house, causing all her windows to smash. In this scenario, Emily could seek damages equal to the cost of replacing her windows.
So how do we enforce our consumer rights?
It's good practice to speak with the service provider directly and explain in polite terms that you're not happy with the service that you provided, and provide them with proof that you actually paid for the service.
That's correct, and you would be surprised how far this will actually get you just by talking to the business, because generally they do want to keep your business and keep you happy.
However, Craig, if that fails, you can always lodge a claim with an ombudsman who will investigate the matter for you.
I would suggest that if you are making a dispute resolution effort directly through the seller, in any case, keep a record of your discussion. As we discussed before, again, I cannot emphasize the importance of taking appropriate notes, photographs, and so on. Keep your receipts, the name of the person you spoke to, date and the time, and what you've asked, and what they told you, and also a description. Even if the photos are there, a description of what exactly happened from the time that the item was purchased until you found out, and how you found that there is a damage or an issue with the product. So it's important. Of course, it also in relation to the time and the effort and the concern that you go into such a matter, if it's not getting resolved, at times that you tend to feel that there is no need to go into such length to get either a refund or the product if the cost outweighs the cost of and your mental agony that you're going through and dealing with certain people.
That's correct, Dinesh. So let's step away a little bit away from that and say, for example, you got a fridge. Now, if you have this fridge and you had to use a courier service or something else to that effect to send it back to the supplier or the person who's going to fix it, you are able to claim those costs through the consumer law.
So, Craig, why is that a right afforded to us under the Australian consumer law? How does that work?
Well, I'm not an expert at the consumer law. However, from what I have read and from what I understand, it's because the consumer law tries to return the purchaser to the status quo. So back to the position they were before they bought the item, if it was damaged or something else to that effect.